And welcome back to the third part of the payment management system tutorial developed in C++ Builder. I'm going to exit out. Now what I want to do is I'm going to need a button here. So let's go straight to the palette and I'm just going to type in BT. Just grab a button, dump it right here. First I'm going to need two of those. There we go. And let's grab one more. BT. There. And let's change the content of those. So let's come in right here. Let's pin that down. And I will change this to maybe total. And the other one I'm going to change it to exit. And just make it more suited for the area. So okay, something like that. Now let's give them a name. Come right down here. Now I'm going to call this one BTN exit. BTN exit. And the other one I'm going to call that BTN total. Okay, that will do. Now increase the font, or let's make the font size maybe 9 bold. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, that's fine, well pronounced. So let's come into, oh, there's no, okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. Let's put this right at the edge here. First of all, paste it right here. Select these two and just move it right and bring this one right here. There we go. Alright, that's not too bad. Select it all. Now we have a bit of room there. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now before we do any coding, or before we carry on with the coding, let me grab some of the connectors. So the first one I'm going to go for is ADOConnection, and that's, let's paste it maybe here. Do that again. ADOconnector. Oh, let's move that where it was meant to be. We have our ADOconnector there. I'll take it up. That's fine here. Now I'm going to also go for ADOTable. Right, grab a table and just paste it right there. That's good. And finally, let's say DataSource. There we go. That's it right there. Grab that and just paste it here. There we go. Now I have my 3 database connectors there. Okay, let's get this connected, this very one here. So drag this so that you guys can see what I'm about to do. Okay, you see where we have inside the object inspector here, where we have connection string. Click on that and click on the 3 dots. Now click on build, and I'm going to select Microsoft Office 16.0, and the data that I'm looking for is right here, the database. Look at it, right inside my folder here. If I select that database, I can always come right here, just right click and select copy the address, and remember the name is called payroll underscore database. Okay, so let's go for next, and paste that source right here, and I'm going to then add backslash. Then let's grab the name. See, just press F2, copy that, come right down here, paste that right there, and that is going to be .accdb. Okay, .accdb. That is my data source. So come right down here, you see where we have admin, get rid of that. And the next thing is, you see where we have blank right there, uncheck the blank, and let's try our connection by clicking on the test connection. There we go, it is successful. There, click on advanced, and we want to make it read and write, so make sure you check read and write and uncheck shared in. Click on OK. You can check this, that's fine. So let's click on OK there, and click on OK again. There we go. So we now have our ADOConnection 1 connected straight to our database. Now the next thing we want to do is we come right down here, you see where we have login prompt. Uncheck that. If you don't uncheck that, the system will ask you to enter password, so make sure it's unchecked. So that is fine. Now select ADOTable. When you select ADOTable, you now want to come here to the connection right there. Okay, drop that down and select your connection 1, this one, ADOConnection 1 there. We now officially connected that to the ADOTable, but scroll right down. We now want to select the table. Come right here, you see where we have table name, click on that, drop it down, select the name of the table. The name of the table is called Payroll. Now scroll right up, we want to now activate that. See where we have activate, check it, and that will become true. There, that is done. Now select the data source. All we need to do is just to connect the data source to the ADOTable 1, and come right there, data set, click on that, and then select ADOTable. That is it, all my connections done. Now if you guys, let's look at the table here. You see the table, there's nothing in the table. Okay, nothing there, it's empty, so close that. However, you can see the link house shows that the table is officially connected to my application. Before I go ahead with the other connection, I'm going to go straight here. You see where we have payroll. Click on payroll database, and I want to connect the payroll database straight to the database itself, this one. Okay, select that and come right to the object property here. Select, we need the data source. Let's make sure it's there, make sure that's selected, and there we go, data source. Click on data source. We now want to select data source 1. As you can see, employee ID automatically appears. The problem is, I'm sure employee IDs occupying approximately 1000 plus of width. So right click on it and select column editor, and here select show all, add all fields. If we select employee ID, just like I said, look at the width of employee ID is 1534. That is way too high. So let's come right here and just change that to about 54. There we go. You see name automatically appears. If we select name, name is in 1000 plus as well, so I'm going to make name, maybe let's go for 54 as well. There, now select, oh, that is name, we can make that about 80. because there's first name and surname in there. So address, let's make it 120 or maybe 100. Postcode 30. Gender 30. Department 54. Position, let's say 54 as well. Benefit, so we can make that 30. Salary is going to be 30 as well. There. Let's see how it's looking now. All of those components are showing. That's good. Alright. Overtime, we make that about maybe 44. Let's go back to salary, make that 44. Benefit 44. Position and postcode, let's postcode, will make that about 44 as well. Tax is showing 1,534. We make the tax about 44. Pension will be 44 as well. Pay date, we can make that 54. Payroll 54. Payroll name 50. NI 50. NI code 50. Tax code 50. Make that 54. Taxable pay. Student loan 44. Pensionable 50. NI pay 50. Gross pay 50. And let's go for debit. Debit is going to be 50 as well. Net pay 50. That is it, all done. Okay, that's fine. If we scroll, check that out. Now make sure that is saved. Let's come back in here. See all of these other components here. I'm going to select each individual component. I will now want to add data source to each of them. Select it all. Let's keep going. Come up here, select, come right down there, and that should be the last one. Or let's include this as well. So come right up here where we have the object inspector. You see the data source, click on that, and that's it. Every single component here are now attached to the data source. That is good. Now we then need to select each individual text box in here. Scroll up, you see where we have the data field. Click on that. The data field for this is going to be employee ID. So let's see if we can find employee ID in here. There we go. There. That is employee ID in there. The next one is going to be full name. Let's come in here and look for full name. There we go. Followed by address. Then we have postcode. Postcode. Scroll right down here. Gender. That'll be a G. Position. There. And department. Let's see. There we go. Now, city benefit. Come right here. There. Basic pay. Overtime. Tax. There we go. pension. Okay, so all of that is done. Let's come right down here. Let's take care of the gross and deduction. Gross pay. Let's see. Deduction. Now let's take care of these ones here. Net pay. Scroll right up. Now date. There we go. Tax period. Tax. Yep, that's it. Tax period. Scroll right down. There we go. Then we have payroll name, NI number, NI code, tax code, taxable pay. There we go. Then we have student loan. Let's come right down here. Then we have pensionable pay. And finally we have NI, this very one here, NI payment. Yep, that is it. All done. Okay, there's nothing on the Access database itself. As you guys saw earlier, it's all empty. So we can always add our data here. Alright, let's take care of the 3 combo box. Okay, so that when you click on them there will be data. So let's exit out. The exit is not working yet. I'm gonna come in here and right here, no, let's use a form create. So for this very one, I think this one is called yep, that's it, DBC tax paid. Okay, the period that I'm talking about, the month. So first of all, let's declare a variable. So I'm going to call that I, because I want to create let's create add a for loop for I equals 1. Add a comma, I will be less than and equals to 12, semicolon, and we say I plus plus there. And I'm going to now enter curly braces in there. So this should have been I less than and equals to. Now that is done, I'm now going to paste that. That is the name of that particular combo box. Let it point a pointer to, yeah, that is correct, item, then another pointer to add. And what is the value that we're adding? We're adding I there, enter semicolon. So that is done. You see how easy that is. So if I run it now, let me save that first, click on run. Let's see, it's coming up. We should have 1 to 12 in there. So while number 1, number 5, that is May, this will be, that is period 1, January, February, and so on. Okay, let's take care of these other ones. This one is gender. Let's see, let's come in here, and the name is gender. Grab that. Why this one is department. Okay, double click on that again and come right underneath here. Gender is going to be, let's add as follows. Let's grab all of these, paste that in there, and the gender is going to be female, ladies first, and the next one is male. Right, so gender is taken care of. There we go. And we have male here, and the next one is DBC department. Okay, so let's add that. I'm just going to make up some funny department, and maybe this one can be flying department or whatever, or flying, that's fine. Okay, and let's add a couple more. Maybe this one can be computing. This can be education. And this, let's call this let's say medical. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. So I'm just gonna add about 4 of those. So if I run it now, they all have their own data in there. So let's see how that's gonna work. We have male or female, and we have flying or whatever you want in there, and the month of payment. There we go, just something like that. Okay, that's fine. Now let's take care of these exits. I think exit in this C# is just close, something like that. Let's come right here, double click on exit, and we just enter close in there. Let's be sure that that works. Save. I would have entered and exit with a prompt command, but let's just that would do anyway. Alright, that's fine. So save that. Okay, now let's take care of these pay dates. So that will just display the dates of payment. So let's grab the variable name in there, scroll right down, double click on the form load again, and inside the form load I'm just going to maybe right underneath here, let's say time, date. This is more or less like the data type. I'm going to call it pay date. That's the name of my variable. So come right down here, and now pay dates. Okay, let's just say pay date equals now. That is it, done. So let's come right down here, paste the name of payday, and just add the following, and that is going to be time, and that will be equals, I think we're gonna have to convert that to date to string. And what date are we converting? We're converting the paid date. There we go. So that should take care of that. So let's run that. So the form create is taking care of all of those conditions. Here, run that, and we see how that works. There we go. We have the date. Okay, that's fine. Okay guys, now that this is done, there's something we haven't put into consideration here. Supposing the payroll or the pay date is totally different, and what do? So what I'm going to do is, let me exit out. I'm going to come in here. Okay, that's the date, and I'm going to drag this. I will now come into this my palette here. Let's just type in calendar. I need the calendar picker. Just drag that one here somewhere there. Right. Okay, with my calendar picker in place, let's change the border color. I think maybe silver might be good, but let's just make it gray a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now what I want to do is, you see this calendar picker, let's run it. You see what I'm talking about. Just in case if the pay date is different, what do? We don't just leave it like that. Okay, we want to be able to click on the calendar picker and just select whatever date we want it to be. So I'm going to exit out. Let's double click on the calendar picker now, and in there we call our date point to text. We will say that would be equals wanted to date, convert date to string. And what are we converting? We're converting the content, whatever is selected in the calendar picker dot date, and there we go. So this should have been pointer, right? Let's come in here and just get this indented, right? I think that will take care of that. So I'm going to save that and let's run it one more time and see what's going to happen. So that should hopefully take care of that. There we go, it's coming up now. Right, the date is 02/02/2022. So click on the calendar picker. I want to change the date. Your pay date is 28. There we go, look at that. And let's say it's in March. That's the whole extent of this calendar picker. Alright, that one is now sorted. Okay guys, so let's move on to the next activity to be completed. Now the next thing I want to try and complete is to take care of the total. So whatever value you enter in here is all added up. So let's exit out for now. Okay, let's scroll right up there and declare some global variables. So let's go right up here, right here. Now I'm going to declare the following. It's going to be double. So let me grab hold of this, paste that in there. The very first one, I'm going to call it inner city. That's my very first variable. Then the next one is going to be basic pay. Let's declare overtime as well, and tax. Declare pension, and let's declare student loan. Student loan, and what else? NI payment. There, those are my variables. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those that I intend to use. Save that. Okay, I'm going to declare some more double variable. So this one I'm going to call it, that is meant to be for the pensionable pay, and this one, or maybe I should just call it pay. Let's put pay there. Then the next one is going to be, no, let's lose up lowercase, taxable pay, comma, and gross pay, comma, deduction. I just call it deduct pay. Then I have period. There we go. Alright, so those are all the variables that I intend to use, and these are the ones I use for my calculator. Now let's go let's go to the design view, and I'm going to double click on the total button here. Double click on that. Now the first thing I want to do is, you see the inner city, Yeah, I think that's what I call the variable. That to be equals. We want to convert whatever is in there, string to float. And what am I converting? That's going to be DBE, I think I call it city benefit, something like that, I think. Let's see, I think that's right, city benefit. Okay, yeah, I got that right. Close this again. Alright, that's the first one. So whatever is in here is now assigned to this variable. The next one is going to be basic pay. Basic pay is going to be equals to, let's do exactly the same thing. We're going, and let's grab hold of the basic pay. What did I call that? Come right here, and basic pay, that is it right there. Okay, it's called that. Back in my codes, so just change that. That's for basic pay. Now overtime, come right down, overtime, whatever we have in overtime, let's go back there and grab the name. I believe it's going to be DBE overtime. Let's copy that and just paste it here. Yep, there's no error. Now there's another one I call gross pay. Let's see this very one here. Yeah, gross pay is gross pay. Grab that, back in the codes, and come right down here. Now I'm going to say gross. That will be equals. I'm going to enter the pound sign. Let's say plus. Let's get that float to string. Float to string. What am I converting to string? That is going to be inner city and so on. These three variables here. Let's copy those, paste that in here. We have 1 plus basic pay paste. We have 2 and plus overtime. Grab that. There. Okay, that is taken care of. Now let's take care of the tax as well. So I'm going to come right down here. So let's say tax, and that will be equals all of the content in here. Let's grab a hold of all of these. Yeah, paste that right here, and we want to, let's say, multiply by maybe 9% and divide that by 100. That would be the tax rate. And let's close this here as well. There we go, we have the tax in place. What about pension? Let's work out the pension. Come right down, let's say pension, and we make that up as well. It's going to be all of these. Again, paste that in there. Maybe you're paying about 15% of your wages as pension. Then what about student loan? Let's say student loan, that's equals that, and the student loan might be about 5%. Now NI payment, that would be equals that, and let's say that's about 3%. There we go, all calculated. Now our calculation, we need to add them into their respective text box. The tax that is called, let's come in here. Alright, that's pension. Let's grab hold of that of pension. I can remember that of tax. Right, back in my code we have pension, and we have tax. Let's come in here, tax. There, and the tax that is going to be in pounds. Let's say plus, make that float as float to, okay, grab a hold of these. We want to convert float to string. That's taken care of. What about pension? Grab all of these, paste that there, and changes to pension. That's pension there, grab pension, paste it right here. There. Now, student loan. I think the student loan will be that. Come right down here. DBE, student loan, and grab hold of all of these, paste it right there. And this is going to be student loan. Yeah, that's the variable name. Okay, so we have the next one, which is the NI payment. Copy student loan, change all of these to NI payment. Copy, this becomes NI payment, and this becomes NI payment. There we go. No, I think this name is wrong, so let's check out the NI payment. Where is it? Go right up here. No, it's not there. NI payment. Oh, it's in lowercase, that's why. Change that to uppercase. And might as well just copy it still. Let's make sure the data set is correct. Using NI payment as well. Okay, let's go back into our codes. Paste that in here. And why do we still have the error? Okay, let's say it's in lowercase the way it was before. I'm going to comment that out for now, and I'll check out why I have an error there. Let's see. Okay, let's save and just run. And I'm going to now enter some value in here. Let's enter something here and see over time. Let's say that is 0. Then we need to put a default there. So if we click on this, there we go. Look at that. That's fine. So NI payments will happen. Okay, so that's working fine. Alright, I think this NI payment, let's see. Okay, it's uppercase I. Enter L. Okay, save that. Let's run it again. Run. And let's see. There we go. Now enter whatever there, and wages, and overtime, let's say 0. And then we need to enter default value in here or whatever. Okay, and in here oh no, we just need to click on this. There we go. Look at that. NI payment is working and so on. Right, that is fine. With that, I'm just going to call it the end of the third part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.